Alright you guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video. We are going to be using Montage's effortless tapered squares, and those were the shorter lengths. They do have a shorter length if your guys' clientele goes on the more of the short to medium type of length, but these are the extra long ones that I am using in the video. If you guys do extra long nails or are wanting to, make sure to check these tips out because these are really amazing. And then I'm just going to go in and make sure everything's the same length. And those are two nail forms just taped back to back. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a medium sanding bit. You guys could actually get a finer one if you like. I'm comfortable with this, but make sure when you are blending into the natural nail, you're blending only the tip, not the natural nail. You don't want to really file that. And then we're getting Desert Peach from Montage. And I wanted to do some French tips with the acrylic just because I've been loving that look. And I'll go ahead and insert the picture of my inspo right here. But yeah, so basically I really enjoyed seeing Helen Nails. I seen her do a set, and this isn't exactly that. I was just inspired to do something along those lines. So and then I went ahead and went with it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and pat this into place. I'm trying to make the most perfect smile line that I can, but you guys could see later on in the video that I did actually end up wanting it to be a deep smile line. I thought this was going to be deep enough, but it wasn't. So if you guys are wanting a really deep smile line, you guys are going to want to go really far down. And then this one, I did want to do it a whole nude with the Desert Peach. If you guys do need a discount code, it is LORENA and then the number 10. So make sure to check out Montage. They have a lot of really good acrylics. This Desert Peach, you guys see me use this a lot, and I really enjoy using it just because I do feel like it's the perfect nude, and I really like their milky white as well. You guys will see that in a ton of my videos just because it is my favorite. Let me know what your guys' favorite nudes are just because this one is mine, and yeah, and I'm kind of on the market to be buying more colored acrylic, but I think I want to start out with nudes just because those are what my clients, they tend to gravitate towards. So yeah, definitely link some down below, you guys, just because I want to do a series where I try out a lot of different nudes from different nail brands. So I do want to try from Not Polish. I do want to do from Nailed by John. He has some acrylics, and yeah, I'm excited about that. And I do want to compare all of the acrylics, but I am going to be using only one nail liquid unless I am able to get my hands on some of them. But I don't really like to purchase like a whole bunch of different nail liquids. I'm just not one of those nail techs. I just like to use my same old go-to Young Nails, their monomer. I love it, but I do know that a lot of brands, they work hand in hand with their monomer and their acrylic. So, but the way I'm going to be reviewing it is how it works with Young Nails. So, but I feel like in order to do a very accurate review, maybe I should get the actual monomers that go with it. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below what you guys think and how you guys would want to see that video, and I will try my best to get you guys what you guys want. But yeah, so, and then making sure to be very detailed right here around the cuticle, cleaning up and whatnot. And I got a little speck in there, so I need to get that out. And then this one, I did want it to be another French tip, you guys. So here I am, just patting everything into place and trying to make sure that the edges are very clean. I do recommend, if you guys do want to do the very deep tip nails, I highly recommend bringing the bead all the way down first instead of going back like me, just because I do feel like there was a little bit of a line inside my acrylic. So I feel like it's best to apply it all at once instead of letting your acrylic dry and then trying to add another bead, just because I feel like it didn't blend as nice as I wanted it to. But I mean, this is just for inspo purpose. Of course, because it's on my Ready Guana hand. If it was a client, I would definitely go back and refile just because I want it to be perfect. And so I want them to love their nails until they come back. I don't want them to find little flaws that will bother them over time. Alright, you guys, now I got this acrylic from Zoeve, Cece's Nail World. She was so sweet enough to send this to me, and it is called Fine Wine, and I thought the name was super cute. But I have been wanting to use this red just because I thought it was so beautiful, so definitely had to put it to use. So thank you so much, Cece. You guys can see me kind of in the background putting a little bit of monomer in a dappen dish. Reason being is because I don't want to contaminate my jar that I had, just because that I was using for the lighter acrylic, and I didn't know if I was going to go back to using the lighter acrylic again. So I didn't want to waste all of my monomer on these red ones, just because I only needed to do a little bit of red. And so I definitely recommend that, just so you guys aren't wasting product. Pour it into a little dappen dish. And if you guys need to, work with a few different brushes, just because the red, in doing red and black colored acrylic, it is very messy. You guys will see in just a second. It is everywhere. So yeah. So I do like the Zoeve. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I did really enjoy working with this. Again, I did end up using the Young Nails monomer with it, and I do feel like it applied very nicely. The only thing was that I actually messed it up when I was working on it, and you guys will see that in just a few seconds. But so I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this all into place and kind of wipe and start to blend it down, because of the majority of the product was up towards the middle of the nail. And when working with colored acrylic, I highly recommend putting a small bead of clear acrylic over the natural nail, because clear acrylic is stronger than colored acrylic, just because it is a little bit watered down. And of course, I also recommend capping the nails as well, unless you build it up with the color. But a lot of times the colored acrylic, it is kind of like more run down, because and not as strong as a clear acrylic, because it has all those pigments inside of it. But so definitely recommend that. But I mean, if you don't, it's not a big deal, just because acrylic, it is pretty strong as well. But that is just a tip. If you guys feel like your nails are breaking quite often, that could be a reason why. I've had some brands that I've used where I do notice that it breaks more than others, but it's all just depending on the brand. But this one, I really love the way it applied. It applied very smooth, but I do recommend working more with your brush on the wetter side, and not even it being a little bit dry. I would, when you guys dip it into the monomer, just because it allows your acrylic not to stick to the brush. And when working, that is a must, just because you guys might feel like it would tend to be a little bit more on the messier side if your brush was dry, because it ends up clinging to the brush more. But other than that, I do really enjoy working with this acrylic. I do definitely want to try their monomer, just because I feel like if I were to do that, it would work hand in hand. So definitely really want to try some more of their stuff out. Thank you so much, Cece. You definitely put me on to some new colored acrylics, so definitely might be adding more of this to my collection. Stay tuned for that, you guys, because I'm always down to try new things. So Not Polished is one of the ones that I do want to try out. And I also want to try out Valentinos. I've been seeing a ton of people trying out Valentinos. Alright, you guys, and I'm pretty happy about the way it looks. And then you guys could see, while I was trying to draw, I ended up messing up this acrylic. I completely smashed it with my hand without even noticing. So I was going in, and I had seen this trick on Instagram where basically you draw out where you want your smile line to be. In this worked like a dream. There is no guessing. You are able to see what your shape would look like. And you really want to focus what the pink acrylic looks like, and I wanted it to be a beautiful almond looking shape. So, and that's basically what I was trying to do right here, making sure my side walls were nice and high. Alright, and then you guys are going to go ahead and grab a bit like this. It has a 90-degree angle, so it cuts perfectly. There is no rounded edges whatsoever. I did also get this from Montage a while back. It has been a really long time since I had gotten this, but you guys could pretty much get this from anywhere. Amazon, Montage, any nail place should have these. I believe even Skyline Beauty, they also have these as well. And this is what it looks like, and you guys could see it cuts it flawlessly. And I like to cut it down all the way to the tip. Reason being is because when you look at it from underneath, it's gonna look nice and clean from the top and bottom. But when you guys are doing this, make sure you guys are being very careful with the cuticle and everything, and because the actual bit and the nail, from filing so much product off at once, it will end up getting hot. And so you don't want to burn your client with the friction. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hand file, and it looks like I'm struggling right here, and honestly with the hand I definitely am. It just doesn't really stay in place. I do need to get a little mount where I'm able to mount it to my desk. Now it is time to go back in with the red wine from Zoeve, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on here. It looks very messy applying it, but it is because I want to make sure that I get it in all those nooks and crannies, and I don't want there to be any spot missing underneath the acrylic. And if you guys do a wet bead of acrylic, this will allow it to be very very fluid like, and it'll be on the runnier side, so it will also get in those crevices, but I didn't want it to be super runny, so that is why I went in some of those nooks and crannies just by myself and did that. And so just red alone is super messy, and it stains like crazy. So even though anywhere I touch my brush, that red pigment is going to stay, you guys. So that is just the way it is with red, black, and any of the darker colors. It's just messy. So keep that in mind when you guys are working with a set, making sure that you are, I know you end up using a lot of paper towels when you guys are doing something like this, but I mean, as long as you get that flawless look, that's all that matters, you guys. So and I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on blending that and trying not to take that much product off. And you guys could see it still looks a little bit raised, but there is no problem with that because we're going to go ahead and go and file. And I did leave it on the pink on the thicker side just because I did want there to be enough room just for filing, and yeah, and I didn't want the nail to be super thin. If you guys did want to do this, you guys can do it on the thinner side and then cap it with clear acrylic, but in my case I do like the way the look of it without capping it, so that is why I did it without capping it. And I'm just going to go ahead, once that is all nice and dry, I'm going to go ahead and go in and filing. I don't know if it's just because the monomer that I used with it, but I do feel like this acrylic, it is nice because it does take a little bit more time to dry, so you guys are able to mold it and make it the way you guys want. So if you guys are a beginner nail tech, these, I think you guys would actually really enjoy this acrylic because it allows you more time when you are working with it. So I definitely noticed that I did have to like wait a little while, and then I'm gonna go ahead and file all that off. I ended up using my 80 grit hand file. Reason being is because it takes off a lot of bulk at once, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it. And you guys could see that's what it looked like. And then now I'm going to go ahead and get a medium sanding bit, and then making sure that I am blending everything from the cuticle down. Even though the apex is, the smile line of the nail is really far down, you still want to make sure that your apex of the nail is still high up there just for the strength. You don't want them to end up having breaks in their nail and whatnot, so definitely still recommend putting that apex. And then I'm just going to go ahead and kind of perfect it a little bit and going in with my hand file and blending everything. Buffing with my 180 grit buffer from Mia Secret, I'm going to go ahead and go in with Gel Lexar, and I am going to replicate the smile line and try to get it as low as the other one. So I was just trying to mimic the same type of smile line that I did on the other two nails, and I am going to be using this striper brush. You guys could get these off of Amazon. If you guys need me to link them down below, feel free to comment and I'll go ahead and link this brush down below. It's super affordable and yeah, super easy to use, especially if you guys have hands that aren't very steady. It might take a little bit of time to get used to, but the actual brush, it helps absorb a lot of that bounce. So yeah, definitely recommend this. And then once I get the smile line established, I'm going to go ahead and paint in the color. And so if I feel like I need to go back in and touch up the smile line, by all means do so, just because this will be a lot easier to do than after. But it doesn't mean that you guys don't have to, or like you guys have, this is your only final step. You guys could always go back in whenever you guys feel like is necessary. And then getting my snakeskin print, I was debating whether to do this one or do an animal print, and I did end up showing you guys what it looked like right there. And then press down, you guys. Keep on pressing down until you feel like the foil is starting to lift away. And you guys can kind of see off to the side it is peeling away, so that is a good sign. And I like to peel it off slowly, just because when you do that, you're making sure that the print that goes in that area is still going to catch. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with my matte top coat. This is from Montage. This one is actually the bomb. I really love this. Coupa matte top coat and this one I feel like are very similar, so I enjoy using both. If you guys want to do an updated matte top coat review where I compare all the matte top coats and how I like them in the cure times and using different types of lights with them, make sure to comment down below, because that is a video that I've been waiting to do. But if you guys like to see that, make sure to comment. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on all of the nails. And if you guys want to apply any jewels, I highly recommend to do it now before doing your top coat, just because they adhere a lot better to the acrylic. But since this was a video and I decided to put stones and whatnot on them after, I ended up doing so. But even if you are working on a client, you guys could do both, but you guys really want to make sure that you guys are being nice and clean and making sure that like you're not putting an excessive amount of glue on, like how I did on the pinky, because then otherwise you guys are going to have to go and touch up the nail. And then this is what they look like. I went ahead and put them into the lamp for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to get the resin. You guys, this resin is the bomb. I really enjoy working with this one. I feel like my clients, they come back and their stones are still on. So definitely recommend this if you guys are in the market for another one. There was another one that I seen someone on TikTok recommend from Amazon, and I'm kind of wanting to try that one as well. Let me know if you guys have tried it, if you guys know what I'm talking about, because it was all over TikTok for a while, and so I screenshot it and I wanted to try it. And then applying the stones, I really wanted this to be a little dainty type of crystal area, so that's what I'm doing right here, just doing something very simple. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more on the other nail, but I am going to be doing that off camera. Went ahead and got gel XR again, got it on my striper brush, and I am just tracing along my smile line, and I am actually going on my design that I already have. I'm not going to go on top of it, like above where the snake print is. I'm going to go on top, directly on top of the snake print of the smile line. Reason being is because I want my smile line to appear lower instead of higher, and if I end up doing it on the acrylic, on that pink part, you guys are going to raise that smile line. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this it's kind of like a gunmetal gray foil. It is super pretty. Make sure that you get it up high on the corners. You guys, it looks so good. And then you guys are going to want to go ahead and top coat it with, you guys could either do matte, but I recommend glossy. But this is a final look, you guys, and I'll go ahead and insert some pictures. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as usual, I'll be back with more videos. Bye!